Hi, beautiful icons. Welcome in. I'm Teri Gosselin of Soul Glow and Alchemy, and I'm a grief guide and soul mentor. Before we dive into any of this, I just want to thank you and let you know that you being here is exactly where you're meant to be. Whatever brought you forward, I'm here, I'm grateful, and I see you. I wrote this love letter for a very specific woman. She looks like she has it all together on the outside. She has the perfect job, the clothes, the family, the everything in order. Yet on the inside, she's exhausted, disconnected, and quietly losing pieces of herself on the daily while she's carrying everyone else. If that's you, I see you. Now, before we begin, I just really want to cultivate this space we're in. This is a safe space. Whatever comes up as you watch this, maybe it's a memory, a feeling, maybe it's something that you didn't expect to experience while you're here with me today. That's okay. You don't have to manage anything that's coming up. You don't have to hold it together. You can pause the video, step away, listen, or come back whenever it feels good to you. You're exactly where you're meant to be, and you're allowed to be here and feel it. So, hi, love. I see you. The woman carrying the weight of the world on her shoulders and in her heart. You are holding on to everything. The kids, the boss's expectations, the relationships, the grief you haven't had time to feel. And somewhere in all of that, you've pushed it yourself to the side. Congratulations, you're the strong one. The fixer, the one people go to for every single thing. All the advice. They dump all of their emotions onto you. And it's heavy. So heavy. And I know that weight very intimately. And that's why I wrote this letter for you. Over the last 5 years, I have taken a deeper dive into my own healing. And I've witnessed the same with other women, coming to name what we often carry beneath the surface. What I've found is that it's grief. And I don't just mean the grief of losing a person, though that's certainly part of it, and it's definitely my story. But I also mean the grief of losing yourself, the dreams you let go of, the versions of you that got left behind because the world didn't make space for them. The way you keep showing up for everyone, quietly running on empty. The way you say I'm fine when your body feels anything but that. Sometimes burnout is grief wearing a different outfit. How did that feel when I said that burnout is maybe grief wearing a different outfit? Allow yourself to sit with that. The truth is that the medicine is in not fixing. It's not moving on. It's not becoming someone new. The medicine is learning to walk with it. As I shared, I know this place so intimately. 18 years ago, 2 weeks before my wedding day, I lost my younger brother, Joey, suddenly. And I did what so many of us do. I kept going. I was in shock, a bit numb, pushed aside some things, but went on with the show. And in this case, that show was my wedding, and then the honeymoon, and then back to work, and all of the things that society tells us to do to move on. They don't give you that space to grieve. And I carried on in this way for many years. Not just going on, but achieving, starting the family, having that seemingly beautiful dream on the outside. I didn't fall apart, really. I learned to mask it. I functioned. I thought that meant I was fine. Clearly, I'd lost my brother during a really complicated time in my life where there was a lot of life-changing events. But I was still standing. And what I didn't realize was that underneath all that strength was unprocessed grief. And it was shaping everything in my world. How safe I felt being seen, how much I trusted myself, how deeply I allowed myself to feel or not. Over-functioning was my identity. I didn't know I was disappearing in it. Grief wasn't something I experienced. It was running the show. And I didn't even know it. In 2016, I had a cancer scare. And for the first time in years, literally years, I couldn't outrun it. I couldn't outachieve it. I couldn't organize it or schedule it or function my way through that. The overfunctioning had led to an identity crisis. I had built so much of who I was on top of grief, on top of the doing and the showing up and the being strong for everyone, that when my body essentially made me stop, I didn't know who I was without it. And in that stillness, for the first time, I had to actually feel it. And that was really the beginning of my walk with healing side by side. When I wrote in my first Kiva Publishing chapter in Magdalene Rising, I was ready. I shared that grief story. I shared deeper about my cancer scare. So I thought I was ready. My soul was, my words were, and the book came out, and something else happened that I truly didn't expect. I went in hiding. Sharing my story, my vulnerable pieces, my heart, my soul felt too bold, too exposed. I'd shown too much of myself, and the safest thing I could do was pull back inward, like a turtle going back in its shell. And I want to name that because I know I'm not the only one who has done this. You get ready. You show up. You're ready to do the thing. You're ready to move forward. You're ready to take the leap. You're ready to do something that changes where you've been. And then the visibility feels so uncomfortable that the only option you feel like you have is to hide. And this fear is not weakness, even though I beat myself up thinking it was. It was a nervous system that learned that being seen wasn't always safe. Can anyone else resonate with that? I know since that moment, I've grounded deeper into who I am, into my story, my purpose. And what I know now is that my story is part of me, but it's not all of me. And the same goes for you. Your story is part of you, but it's not all of you. I was called deeper, and not away from the grief, but into it, into who I am beneath the titles, the roles, the accolades, what society is expecting of me. And then in that space, I realized this isn't just what my own healing is about. It became the work I was meant to lead: emotional healing, nervous system regulation, identity reclamation, and spiritual reconnection. Helping women come home to themselves, their full, whole, beautiful selves. The ebbs, the flows. And not to become someone new, but to remember who they already are. And certainly not because I had all of the answers. I still don't. But I know the weight. And I kept walking with it anyway. That's what I guide women through, not to perfection, but the courage to keep going, to live, to thrive. Before we go any further, I want to invite you to pause. Sit there, shake your hands, maybe your body. You just heard a whole emotional journey that I've experienced over 18 years of my life. And I don't want you to carry that with you. You're already carrying enough, right? But I want you to sit with some of that for a moment. So, what's in my story feels maybe similar to what you've experienced? And maybe you have a journal, or you can just sit with your eyes closed and reflect on these questions. What in my story feels similar to you? What have I been carrying that I haven't named yet? What is my body telling me right now? If you're here, you may also be some of my sisters that tend to overthink and over spiral and don't sit deep enough into getting to know what our body's saying to us. And so this is an invitation to come home to that and to listen to the cues, because your body knows so much. And it's often giving you clues. And this is that invitation to become familiar with what those clues are saying to you. Maybe when I was sharing my story, something shifted, or something stirred up and you're feeling uncomfortable. Maybe you saw yourself in part of my story. All of it is safe. All of it is welcome here. You are seen and you are held. And I invite you, if you want to take a pause from the video, to journal out whatever comes up. Maybe it's a word or an emotion, a feeling, a sense in your body. Whatever that is, jot it down. You don't need full sentences. It doesn't need to look pretty or perfect. But allow it to come out of you. Allow it to be said out loud, written down, expressed with your hands. Maybe stand up and dance. Let your body flow. Whatever it is that you feel compelled to do that. And when you're ready, you can come back here. So I want to dive deeper into what no one really tells you about when you're on a journey, about healing. It's truly continuous. It's lifelong. There are ebbs and flows. There's so much beauty and clarity. And there's also heaviness and chaos and moments where you feel like you have no power or control over anything. And it's in those heavy moments where the most power within us surfaces. It's just so hard to see when we're in those moments, right? I believe your greatest gifts rise from those ashes. Mine did. And I invite you, if you sit with it long enough, you'll begin to see your gifts in those depths as well. I just switch to the side and you can feel the moodiness lift into this, I don't know, hope, this possibility, even just the color, right? The background's this yellow. It's just you feel this sense of shifts and change on the horizon, the possibility that something else can exist. And when I think about what it means to be a revolutionary icon, I'm not thinking about fame or influence or having all the answers. I associate it with courage. The courage to tell the truth, to heal what previous generations were taught to hide. The courage to stop performing strength and begin embodying our wholeness. The courage to let what societal conditioning has said is the norm fall by the wayside and walk a different path. The revolution isn't just out there. It starts in here. And in here. And in here. When one woman gives herself permission to feel and heal and become, it's a ripple effect. She changes the way she leads, the way she loves, the way she parents, the way she serves and shows up in the world. That's how change happens. One woman at a time, coming home to herself and watching the ripple happen around her. That's a revolutionary icon. That's the moment. This is your moment. So, this is not just me telling you things. This is also you experiencing things. So again, I want to invite you into a short practice, a taste of the work I do in the heart of this chapter and a lot of what is in Magdalene Rising as well. So if you can, pause what you're doing, set your phone aside, find a comfortable spot, just be here right now. go ahead and place a hand on your heart. Maybe you want to put another one on your belly. Close your eyes if that feels good to you. And take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold it at the top. And exhale. And the exhale can be as long and as loud as you need it to be. Maybe I would like to repeat that without my words. Maybe feel your shoulders droop a little. Feel some of the weight that you've been carrying in your chest and your stomach fizzle out. And I want to invite you to gently ask yourself a few questions. There's no need for answers. Just notice what comes up. What am I carrying right now that no one else can see? What part of me has been asking for my attention? What do I need most in this season of life? As you sit and reflect with those, maybe you've paused, and that's great. But come back and take one more slow breath. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Whatever came up, even if it was just a feeling, a color, a smell maybe, a flip of an idea, that's enough. The noticing, the awareness, that's literally the beginning. And you may want to take a moment with whatever came up to jot it down. It matters. It's giving you that shift right in front of your eyes, the awareness. Once you have awareness, what you do with that can change the trajectory of everything. And I cannot wait to see what has come up for you. So I want to share, though, that I also need reminders, right? Like don't have it all down. And as we've shared before, healing is a continuous ebb and flow and journey. But I do find when I need that reminder, I turn to my brother, Joey. He's right here in this picture. As you can see, he filled a room. He didn't have to try. He filled it literally at 7 feet tall and figuratively of having bigger than life personality, one of jokes, laughter, voices. He loved to do voices from movies. The way he nicknamed everybody, I'm Teasel, my mom's BA. He made small moments just feel big. And I miss him so deeply. I wonder often what life would be like with him in it if he was physically here still with us. And I miss him a lot for not just who he was, but also what we've missed along the way. But the beauty in healing is now I don't just feel his loss. I feel the love he left behind. The way he still guides me and shows up for me. Still reminds me of who I am and what I'm here for. Because truly, it was in his loss that I found the deepest clarity on who I was becoming. And that is the gift inside grief. And I believe that gift lives within you as well. I just want to remind you that you are not your grief. You are not your survival strategies. You're the woman you've been looking for. And maybe that sounds like a cliche, but it's true. I believe the most revolutionary thing you could do is remember who you were before the world convinced you to carry it all by yourself without help. To wear a mask, to carry around other people's pain and sorrow, to do everything perfectly in a way of the world that they expect a woman to show up as. You are you. And I'm so glad you're here. You are so ready. The revolution is here in this book, in these stories, in this community. And it's inviting you forward to step into your most iconic era yet. To be that change maker, to be that courageous woman that steps forward, that chooses herself, that chooses her feelings, that chooses her desires and what she wants in the world. It doesn't mean you throw everything else away. But the ripple effect of you changing your life, unmatched. So I want to extend my deepest, greatest, most loving thanks for being here with me today. I do just have another little gift for you that is available. Basically, what you just experienced in this practice, I have a recorded full version for you. The 5-minute calm reset audio. You can go to any single time you need to come back to yourself because life is going to life no matter what. And I also have a journal with some prompts to go alongside with it. It's called The Glow Reset to Calm, and it's my free gift to you for being part of this journey with us. You can find it at soulglowandalchemy.com, and the link I think is going to be included with the video. I want to invite you to think of that as a way to keep the conversation with yourself going on your own time, in your own space, whenever you need it. So, thank you, beautiful icons, for spending this snapshot in time with me. I hope that this reminds you that healing, that joy, that purpose, and peace are still available to you. And I'm just sending you all my love. Thank you.